What's up, YouTube? Timmers here. Now, for anybody who remembers the 2011 movie Contagion that Steven Soderbergh directed, that starred the likes of Matt Damon, Lawrence Fishburne, Gwyneth Paltrow, and many others, I remember seeing that one in the theaters back in 2011. It was really interesting. Not obviously, between this outbreak, really was a little bit of a test of what we would have had gone, what we ended up going to a few years later. But anyway. Now in 2020, Steven Soderbergh told John Horace on his Happy Sack Confused podcast that he was developing a philosophical sequel to Contagion alongside screenwriter Scott Burns, saying, "I've got a project in development that Scott Burns is working on with me. That's kind of a philosophical sequel to Contagion, but in a different context." He said at the time via IndieWire, saying, "You'll kind of look at two sides of them as the kind of paired but very different hair colors. So Scott and I have been talking about it. So what's the next iteration of the Contagion type story? We have been working on that. We should probably hot foot a little bit." When asked by Variety if Contagion 2 project is still happening, Soderbergh said, "We've talked about it. It would have to be about something new, but something that's plausible. Part of the reason people were able to find resonance in the movie when it opened, and then 10 years later when the pandemic happened, was rooted in reality. We've got to find a new gimmick, but it's got to be something that people go, oh, that could happen." When asked if it would be another pandemic or public health crisis, Soderbergh added, "Maybe it would need to be something that's going on right now that just needs a tiny little shove to turn a huge thing. To me, Contagion was a horror movie. Trick would be, can you find something scary that's real?" And I can easily see them possibly doing a sequel, but maybe with the pandemic that we just had recent. I mean, Contagion and Outbreak became like during the pandemic, obviously. Both Contagion and Outbreak became one of the most watched films of that era. In the 2020s, because obviously we were just living at that time and all. They became a little more popular and all. I mean, I'm not for a sequel. I think it's been quite some time, but I think a sequel to Contagion is more relevant today than it was ever since the first film came out. So it's gonna be interesting when this thing actually gonna happen. But let me let you guys. What are your thoughts on Soderbergh pretty much saying that his Contagion sequel is still being talked about here? Have you ever seen the first Contagion? Were you even are you even interested in seeing a sequel? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Steven